welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video. Now on this video, I want to talk to you guys about the 5 things you can do if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Hopefully these things will add a little inspiration, a little motivation, and a little bit of encouragement for those of you that are living paycheck to paycheck. I know how it is. It can be frustrating and stressful. My name is Eric and I am Smart Money Bro. And what I do is help ordinary people like you and me be extraordinary with their money. I do personal financial one-on-one coaching and mentoring to help people with their money and their real estate. If you're stopping by this channel for the first time, do me a favor and consider subscribing to the channel. Also, smash the like button if you get anything at all out of this video. You can always contact me below. I do free 15-minute phone conversations and I do one-on-one strategy sessions. But on this video, it's all about living paycheck to paycheck. It's tough, but you gotta manage it until you can get to another better place financially. So here's 5 things that you can do that are gonna help you out. The first thing is you need to figure out what are your needs and what are your wants. And you gotta be able to separate the two. Figure out exactly what you need to maintain. And then for the wants that you have, you need to sort of delay gratification on those wants. Really important thing to get in your mind. You can't have everything if you're living paycheck to paycheck. One of the ways I did that was I cut up credit cards. I stopped using a bunch of credit cards because credit cards really worked well for impulse buys, for things that I wanted quickly. So that really forced me to be disciplined and to really delay gratification. Understanding that if I wanted something, I have to plan for it because I'm going to pay for it with cash. Now, I'm not telling you that's what you need to do, but I'm telling you that is an alternative to consider. It really cuts down on buying things that you don't really need when you don't need them. The second thing that'll help you if you're living paycheck to paycheck is make sure you're planning things out as much as possible and as far in advance as possible. If it's January, February, March, and you know that Christmas is December and you want to buy gifts, then you need to be planning that out ahead of time. Maybe it's $30 a month that you put towards a Christmas fund. If the kids are starting school in August or September, maybe you got to start putting some money aside for that many months in advance. Just a little bit of money over a long period of time can help you. So the more in advance that you plan your year and things you know are going to happen, the better off you're going to be and the more you're going to be able to maintain living paycheck to paycheck. You know, the goal is not to live paycheck to paycheck, right? The goal is to have a fully funded emergency fund so if something comes up, you have some extra money. But for a lot of us, we've got to take these measures in the meantime until we can get to having that fully funded 3 to 6 months of emergency. So these are things that you can actually do while you're actually in the valley of living paycheck to paycheck. The third thing you should consider is giving and helping people as much as possible. It's a principle that if you give and continue to give, you're going to reap it. You're going to reap what you sow. When I was living paycheck to paycheck, at the top of my budget, every single time, every month's budget for many years, even today, is giving. Whether that be a tithe or an almsgiving, or whether it be just helping homeless or volunteering your time at a shelter, whatever it may be, helping and giving to somebody, even though you don't have much to give, is a principle that is going to serve you well even when you're living paycheck to paycheck. So make sure you're finding some time, you're finding some money, you're finding some resources to give and help other people. You can never go wrong with a giving spirit. The fourth thing you need to do is you need to make sure you take good care of what you already have. Now that's another principle, right? Take care of the small things and larger things can be added to you. But it's also for a more practical reason, right? When you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have extra money to be replacing stuff, right? So one of the best things you can do is take good care of what you have. If you have a car, make sure you're getting the oil change. Make sure you're changing all the filters. Make sure you're looking at your brakes. You need to make sure that you take care of what you have so you don't have to constantly replace things with money you don't have. So if you plan to cut up your credit cards, like I mentioned earlier, then you need to make sure that you're taking care of stuff so you don't have some of these emergencies and surprises that could come up. Remember, it's a principle. Don't mismanage what you currently have if you expect to have more down the road. The fifth thing is one that I'll probably get in a little trouble for, but that's okay. Or some people will probably disagree. But it's not to focus so heavily on building your credit. There's nothing wrong with getting your credit together and making sure you have good credit and checking the credit bureaus to make sure there's nothing crazy on them, right? But when you don't have money and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you emphasize credit, 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 what happens is you're emphasizing taking on something that's going to keep you living paycheck to paycheck. Because again, there's nothing wrong with credit, but you don't want to get credit just so you can go out and buy stuff and have another payment on a credit card or on stuff that's going to continue the cycle of paycheck to paycheck. It's got to break somehow. So how do you break the cycle of paycheck to paycheck? It's not by getting a credit card and having another account that you have to pay for every single month, because that's going to keep you living paycheck to paycheck. So that's why earlier I mentioned cutting up credit cards, because I stopped focusing on credit so heavily. Sure, we want our credit to be good in case a potential employer does a credit check, or for insurance purposes, they may check your credit, or even if you want to buy a home. So I understand the need for credit, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't want to go out and get another bill that's going to cause you to continue to live paycheck to paycheck, because now you have to pay $150 a month on a credit card. Now you opened a Visa and you're working on your credit, but now you got to pay an extra $75 a month or $300 a month. So credit is okay. I'm not against credit, but I'm saying for me, I stopped focusing on the credit so heavily, because when you're living like that, you just have to take care of the basics until you can formulate a plan to get out of living paycheck to paycheck. So hey, those are my 5 things that you can do if you're living paycheck to paycheck to sort of help you maintain. Now you can check some other videos I have on this channel that's going to help you move and elevate out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle. If you got anything at all out of this video, please do me a favor, smash the like button and become a subscriber. The best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Take care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.